So when it comes to your entire being, from the roots of yourself all the way to the crown of yourself, there's always energy flowing. There is always a flow of energy. Now, when you have all these chakras, okay, inside of your being as the soul pieces of yourself, we'll speak more deeply into the chakras. I want to start talking about the chakras when I start talking about how to raise the Christ consciousness. That way, it will be in a very good alignment that you'll be able to understand. I don't want to shred the information into half pieces that always have to, when do you talk about this? When did you talk about this? I want to put the information in order, okay? So when it comes to you as the middle, you are both negative, okay, and then positive. You are the middle, you are the heart. Now, when it comes to the transmutation of these energies, your major energy centers inside of this world is stored on your ankles. When I talk about your ankles, these are your ankles. These particular places are your ankles. Before your feet, before the 5 forms of your feet, that is what your ankles are. These are your ankles. Okay? The ankles are the first form of the transmutations of energy. A dormant, heavy whirlpool of energy is stored inside of them. From your ankles, you go to your knees. Your knees is the second energy portal that exists inside of you. Okay? It stores a very huge amount of energy, and it is the one that is able to commune with the soul much for you to be able to make decisions of. It is the one thing that is able to commune with the heart for you to make decisions of, because it is more connected to the heart than everything inside of this world. That is why your leaders and then your thieves inside of this world, they always want you to kneel down. Kneel before me. When you kneel, then you are submitting the fact that their soul is powerful than yours and your soul is useless. That is why in Africa, no matter how you do, you want to kill a king, you have to kill a king while standing on top. He will never bow down to you. He will never kneel down to you. Because if you kneel down, then you don't understand what they are as the soul. You know what I mean? You are living on physical self. You are seeing your physical representation and you are putting an insult on what your soul is. You don't kneel down. You understand? That is where the energy of the knees are from. So from the energy of your knees, these two are the same reflections as the top. Listen to this very carefully. These particular two energies, between your ankles and then your knees, they are the same transmutation forms of your elbow. Okay? You have an elbow on the left, and then you have an elbow on the right. These elbows are major storage of energy units. Okay, just like the ankles and then your knees, they are also storage of huge amount of energies. When it comes to your wrist, okay, it's also the same thing. Your wrist too happens to store a very huge amount of energy. All right, so when you look at this for 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. Okay, I'm going to be connecting this in a much simpler manner for you to understand. When I tell you that is the knees, when you kneel down, that is how you surrender your power to these people. No? Or what importance is your knees, what importance is your ankle, and what is their connection to your feet and then to your fingers. No? How is it important inside of your own being? That is what we are coming to discuss. Okay, so let's mount all these together, and then you get the understanding of how they are connected when they begin to transmute the negative side of yourself and then the right positive side part of yourself. You will know how to inculcate this into moving energy from your heart to various centers of your being. Okay, when you look at your wrist, okay, your ankles is connected to your wrist. Okay, your ankles are connected to your wrist. Every single information that deals with your ankle is connected to the same information that deals with your wrist. Okay? Everything is connected like this. Okay? And when it comes to the soul part of yourself, your elbows and then your knees, they are also connected like this. They are all connected like this. And in the center of them all exists what you call the soul. You understand? In the center of them all is what you call the soul. Now, I want you to take a very careful look at this, okay? And look at what you call an atom inside science, okay? An atom is the smallest particle of an element. It's always like this, and then it always has something like this, okay? And then it always has another one outside of it like this, okay? And then it has the charges both on this side and on that side and on that side. Okay, this is exactly how an atom looks like. That is you. You are made up of cells. Every single cell is an atom. Within every atom exists the particles of fire, exist the particles of water, exist the particles of earth. These are three things that are making up your entire being. So all the cells inside of your being are basically made up with fire, are made with water, and are made with earth. Okay, it is these particular three forms that makes up what a cell is, what an atom actually is, what you are. You are the beginning, you are the end. Do you understand? So when it comes to the way in which energy moves inside of you, it's the same way through which energy moves inside of the galaxies, okay? With the sun inside of the middle and then all the other planets circling around it. That is what it is, okay? Mars, Jupiter, Uranus, Neptune, Saturn, all of them, they are all circulating the sun because the sun is your soul. You are the son of the Father. You are the son. Do you understand? You are the son of the Father. You are the son of creation itself. So everything always has to reflect from the inside of the sun. The will of the sun be done on earth. Let thy will be done on earth. Okay, you have something you call the free will. Okay, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth. I've decoded when it comes to the prayer, no? Okay, I've already made that video very clear. You are the sun. The sun represents your heart. Your heart is the center of the solar system. So when it comes to the movement of energy inside of your being, from your knees all the way to your ankles is connecting you to everything that is above yourself. But when it comes to the transmutation of them, once they cross the rhythm of the heart, once they begin to pass through this thing, I told you when I was explaining the alpha and then the omega, that whatever that is negative on this particular side, immediately it causes to the other side, it becomes positive. Okay? It's like what you call the angels. Whenever they say angel inside of the Bible, all of you rush ahead and think it's the good guys. Okay? An angel is a general classification of the first beings of light are. That is what it differentiates them. When you are calling somebody a devil and you are calling someone an angel, you've not said anything. Okay? So when it comes to your being, your heart is what differentiates the middle. Okay? That is why it is the black hole of everything that exists. That is why it reflects the eye of you. Okay? That is why it reflects the eye of you. It is the middle part of yourself. Do you understand this clearly enough? Okay? So when you have an issue with your knees, you are definitely having an issue with your elbows. When you have an issue with your ankles, you have an issue with your wrist. That is exactly how they work. Whenever there is slower movement of energy from one point to another, it begins to affect the flow of that particular creation of the fluid that I told you when I was explaining your skeletal system. There's a particular fluid that keeps the energy dormant, in which it doesn't cause you pain. Because whenever you are beginning to degrade, the bone aspect of that particular place begin to degrade, then that is when you begin to feel pain. That is when you begin to feel pain. And these people, they are robbing you of that particular fluid. The fluid is supposed to be more in a way that you can actually be able to transmute it from your knees all the way to help your elbows to heal. You understand? When you understand what your energy centers are, okay, you can send energy through every aspect part of yourself, and then it will begin to heal. All in the way of your feeling. Inculcating yourself into nature's practice. Your head as your crown is the same thing as down here, the earth. Okay, you are existing in a plane of earth. Okay, they always say you are existing in a globe or a ball. No? That is what they are trying to tell you, and then your electromagnetic field. No? That is what they are trying to tell you. Out of the darkness of this came the light of the top. I told you people about February and then January. Do you understand? Before you started descending into December, before you started descending into March, your fingers and then your rings are the same imprints of your brain. The way in which your fingers are, they are the exact replica of your brain. That is why people that read palms, they look at your palm, they say they are reading your palm. They are not reading your palm, they are reading your brain. There is 3 aspect parts to every kind of brain inside of this world. The major part of it is what I already explained. Your conscious self, okay, your limbic self, and then your reptilian self. These are the three forms that reflects the three of these. The Father, the Son, and then the Holy Spirit. They are all affecting this in three particular forms. So your brain is the same imprint as your fingers. When you understand what your fingers are, you can be able to massage certain aspect part of your hand that will cause the free flow of electricity inside of your brain. If you have stroke, you can cure it. Okay? Everything inside of this world is curable once you understand who you are. Okay, that is the only way that you people can save this planet. That is the only way. If you don't learn to start going in within to heal it, you end up extracting the minerals of the earth, thinking that it is what is healing you, but it's your ignorance that is causing your own doom. Okay? So the exact print of your fingers, your fingers are the whole cosmic form of what the elements are. Okay? Every form of these particular elements, they are what makes up your fingers. Okay, they shoot out electric energies. When you look at your finger, if you even look at it, you can see a swell pool at the end of it. It looks like this. Everybody has it. When you look inside of your palm, you can see tiny lines like this. That is how they transport this energy. Okay, you have something you call an aura. Oh, I have an aura. The aura here, you separate things. Okay, I told people like you are gold. You don't understand how deep this thing goes. I thought it's only gold that grows, okay, with the energy of the sun. Every form of gold inside of this world, it expands. Gold has an electric and then a magnetic side, like you, electromagnetic being. That is what gold is. So when it comes to your constellation, gold has a very huge influence on the adaptability of the colors that you are. You are made up of all 7 primary colors. Every color is representing an emotional aspect part of yourself. You are gold. That is why you're dark skin like this, you can eat gold. You are the first form, celestial form of what a dragon is. Dragons are the first celestial forms, the first titans of this world. They are dragons. Okay? When we start talking about your genetic genes, you understand? Okay? So when it comes to these particular energy centers, they cause energy to move. By a way of you harnessing it from the heart, you can tell it where the energy should go. Okay? And the energy will flow. By way of the heart, it's not force. It's not something that you can lie to. It's not something that you can trick. That is why I say you should get a tree. Get a tree and ground yourself. Get a tree and connect. Trees are honest people. The most honest beings inside of this realm is a tree. Tree doesn't judge the way you talk to it. It doesn't judge the way you speak to it. The way you feel about it, that is how it responds to you. Okay? The way you feel towards a tree, the way you feel towards it, to share your emotions will tell you whether this part of yourself will be amplified enough for you to be able to receive information while stepping on it, grounding yourself. When you are grounding yourself, you are grounding yourself with the spirit. You are grounding yourself with Mother Earth. She is the one that gave you this physical self. When you got into the uteruses of your mother as this, you latched yourself onto her uterus. You latch yourself against your mother's uterus so that whatever that she can ingest, you can pick it and then you turn it into feet, turn it into knees, turn it into everything that is inside of your body. Your lungs, your liver, everything that exists inside of your being, you are taking it from the very earth itself. You are a spirit that creates matter. Forget itself. Shred down its matter form and then to attain the spirit self. It's very simple like that. So when you look at these particular centers of yourself, that is where the energy is stored. Just look at yourself. You look like a plus sign. Okay? When you look at yourself, you look exactly like a plus sign of me telling you about the alpha and then the omega. You represent everything inside of this world. Be it shape, be it form, you are experiencing reality through only one aspect part of yourself, which is quarter. Okay, quarter is how your eye sees things. Quarter is how your lip perceives things. Quarter is how your teeth perceive things. That is why when you look straight like this, and one person is looking at you from this side, they can only see a half part of you. You can only see the eye that goes like this. You can only see the mouth that goes like that. Everything about you is half. Do you understand? That is why the Christians, they usually say when you are getting married, the one shall become, or two shall become one. Okay? I'm supposed to be explaining this thing in simpler manner for you to understand. Okay, so when it comes to the transmutation of these particular energies, one side of you is made up of negative and the other side of you is making up of your positive energy. Okay, so when it comes to the transmutation of how you can cause the movement of these particular positive to tune into the benefit of your own self, is by a way of you learning to feel the energy in the first place. Do you understand? It's by learning to feel the energy in the first place. And we'll talk about feeling of the energy. You see that feeling that usually comes when you're about to urinate. Okay? That feeling that you can't just mistake it for anything else. If it comes, you know that it's urine. That particular thing that when it comes, you know that it's time to visit the restroom. That particular feeling, no, when you are able to put yourself in a meditative state up to an extent that you can begin to feel those pyro erections, those your body begins to get goosebumps, you know, that is when you are supposed to understand things. Because the goosebumps, they only happen when the left part of you and then the right part of you becomes one. That is when the energies inside of the cells inside of your being begins to multiply. So they begin to replicate themselves on your skin. That is how it is. So one thing that you call aura is usually flowing through these things. They are always flowing. Your aura is always flowing. As the gold that you are, and then as the energy of the sun that you are aura. You are the sun descended in its physical form. Okay, you are the son of God. You are God essence. This aura is the energy that emits you as the highest form of what light is. You descended. It's very simple like this. So it's very simple like this. So when it comes to your palms, how then do you cause the transmutation of these particular energies? Okay, first of all, I want to tell you that if you are not grounding, please make grounding your habit. Okay, if you are not walking barefooted, okay, 80% of the day. Okay, start walking barefooted 80% of the day. Ground yourself. If you don't make time for yourself, there's nothing that can cause you to change you. I am not there to tell you that if you don't walk, you can't be able to harness the energy of the earth. You yourself already know that already. Because elimination means more energy gets into the body. Okay, elimination means more energy gets into and then outside of the body. So the more you are putting in the practice, the more energy that you have. Okay, and the more energy that you have, the easier it is for you to transmute. Okay. And when you begin to feel the transmutation energy coming in and then moving out, that is when you begin to yawn a lot. Okay? Yeah, you begin to go like. That is what happens. Okay? When you don't feel the energy first and you try transmuting it out, you get seriously tired. It's like your aura, your field, you are yet learning to feel this. Okay, this is your electromagnetic field. You are yet learning to feel your electromagnetic field. And instead of you to be patient enough to feel it, you want to transmute energy. So you end up pulling the energy inward. It will not get to anywhere, and then to end up your eyes feeling blurry. You feel tired. You want to stop. Okay? So first, learn how to feel the energy, and then you can take it from there into transmutation. Okay? The left part of your hand is negative. The right part of your hand is positive. That doesn't mean that you cannot turn positive energy into negative energy. It's like you've been able to convert earth into what? Light. Okay? But before you can be able to convert earth into light, you must first of all understand what earth is. Connecting with your earth self, grounding yourself with what is earth, what is physical. Once you understand what is physical, then you will know that your cells, okay, if I encode this food, or if I encode this lifestyle, or if I do like this, or if I exercise like this, okay, it is going to go ahead in boosting my physical cells so that they will begin to feel much hotter. Okay, you begin to feel much heat, and that is how you are able to receive more energy from the sun. The sun is always broadcasting information. Okay. The sun is always broadcasting information. That is why some time back they came with a particular, they created a particular lab virus, okay, to actually come and dim the light of you down by calling it corona. Okay, they call it corona. Corona is the energy cells of the sun. Okay, the solar flares that came off the sun. That is what corona is. You can research it. Okay, that is what it is. So what is inside those particular vials that they injected you with? You being dumb you being dumb has nothing to do with God. God gave you the ability for you to feel things and understand and interpret things for yourself. If you are choosing to be dumb, that is your own crime. Do you understand? That has nothing. You can't blame anybody but yourself. All right? So when it comes to these particular energies, the sun is always activating the cells. But because you are existing in a solid state, it makes it very difficult for it to penetrate through your solid cells in order to get to your light cells, which is like the one thing that is holding the DNA of your being. Okay? The DNA is the two dragons. I told you, it is not a serpent. When they always write a serpent doing this, serpent doing that. It's not a serpent. A serpent is a lower form of what a dragon is. A serpent is what they told you it did inside the Garden of Eden, not a dragon. Okay? not a dragon. A serpent energy is less of your carnal self. Okay, a serpent is someone that deceives, the deceptor, the devil. That is what a serpent is. That is what a snake is. When they tell you are a snake, that means that you are a betrayer. That is what is listed on it. But you people are interpreting the energy of the snake into the energy of the dragon, thereby insulting your own selves. Do you understand? That is how simple that they make things. Talking about a dragon. Dragons were the first being to exist here before any other species came into being. Okay? Most I told you, all of you are aliens, so you came from different star systems. You came from different variety star systems. Just like the way you have Mars, you have Mercury, you have Uranus, you have all those ones within this your solar system. There is much more. Some of you can breathe underwater. Some of you can be able to fly. Some of you can create or transmute matter on your energy essence. Once you begin to grasp of how to hold this particular energy, that will be the beginning activation of your genome cells. Because if you look at what the DNA is, it is not one color. You see one red, one blue, one green, one pink, one yellow, one blue. That is how it is. It is the variations of everything that exists here that connects you to what the cell is. Okay? They are your cells of the highest order. So once light begins to touch them, they begin to cause certain changes inside of your body. Your body will begin to mutate. Okay? Your body will begin to mutate so that you can start being able to shoot fire out of your hand without having to worry about it. Okay? I'm going to give you a very deep secret. Okay? The reason why the pale-skinned people are afraid of black people is one thing. One thing and one thing only makes them very afraid of you. It's chaos. Okay? There is no being inside of this world that is capable of ruining things, that is capable of unimaginable destruction than a dragon. Do you understand? When a dragon shows up in your place, everything goes down. It can either form and create new life. It can be the one that extinguishes the fire. So their fear of injecting you with all these nanotechnologies to push your cells down and prevent you from activating is because they understand that you remember a history time where they punished you very hard. They did some dirty things to your ancestors that now if you get your DNA activated and you can breathe fire, who do you first think that you will go to? Do you understand? So without you learning to harness this chaos inside of you, without you learning to harness this power inside of you, when you are activated, the first thing you do is you destroy things. That is why you can't fool yourself to gaining the power. Oh, I want the power. If I get the power, I will do good with it. No, that's not how it is. When you are worthy of the gift, the Father in heaven itself will activate it for you. It's as simple as that. All you have to do is your physical self, and then you clean it. Okay? That is why they told in the Bible that Jesus went onto the temple and started chasing people out. That this is the home of his Father. They are not supposed to be selling all filthy animals and death inside of this place. That is not the place for it. The Holy Father, the kingdom of you exists inside here. He didn't go into a particular church. He went inside of himself. And I tell you, unless you are able to clean out all these mucus and then cause an equilibrium within your being, the Father cannot live in this. You will not be able to resonate and then understand the way through which the Father is sending you information. It's very simple like that. Okay? So if you are someone that isn't grounding yourself, let me emphasize on that. Okay? Let me clean the board. I'm going to come and show you the benefits of you grounding. Then you will understand things deeply. So when it comes to you and then grounding, okay, you understanding the benefits of what grounding actually guarantees inside of your being, I want to make it very simply. Okay, I've talked about your energy centers to a certain level that I know when you begin to understand them in that particular manner, then we can delve much deeply into their essence and then its connection to the entire constellation. Do you understand? You'll be able to just activate and send energy to a particular part of yourself that will allow you to receive signals that are coming from Mars. You'll be able to connect and redirect yourself to signals that are being transmitted in the place of Saturn. Do you understand? That is how it is. Like, you are a walking tuning number of radios. Okay, you house every single thing. Your pineal gland houses every frequency form inside of existence. Everything in existence you are already aware of. Okay, you just don't know how to actually be able to receive from these particular centers. Okay, but once you begin to grow, you begin to send a particular signal to this place and then you receive. To this place and then you receive. To this place and then you receive. That is what awareness is. Okay, that is what awareness is. So when it comes to the benefits of grounding, okay, your very feet. Okay, you have 5 feet. Actually, what? Okay, so let's redo this. Okay, this is 1 feet, this is 2 feet, 3 feet, 4 feet. Where's the other 5? Okay, this is the 5th feet. Oh yeah, I did it. This is your leg. Okay, so this particular part of yourself, you know, is the elements. Okay, the elements exist there the same way that goes with your fingers. Each of them is a particular element. When you look under or inside of your thumb or your feet, you know, it is the same hole that exists on your palm. Okay, let me get the palm. Okay, when you look inside of your palm, it's the same energy that exists inside of your palm. That is why the top part of yourself is always connected to the down part of yourself. That is how it is. Okay, the top part of yourself is always connected to the down part of yourself. Now, if you look at this swelling of energy, this represents the cosmic creation of life essence itself. Okay, out of the darkness came light. This darkness is what is represented in the lower part of yourself and then the upper part of yourself. Your hands and then your feet. Okay, your hands and then your feet. So when it comes to transmission of these particular energies, when you are grounded, when you are stepping onto the earth core itself, everything that is in this particular earth, okay, is always vibrating like this. Okay, nature is always vibrating like this. If nature was stable, there wouldn't have been anything that you call fruits. Okay, there wouldn't have been anything that you call vegetables, because that is how Father creates. He speaks to alignment of energy frequencies. It sends out the energy, and these particular mangoes, these particular pears are able to pick that information and then to do what they can to create their own food, do by a way of picturing, photosynthesis, photosensitive. Okay, they are photosensitive because they can be able to attract light energy and then condense it into a particular fruit form. It's very simple like that. So if you are grounding your feet onto the same particular element, it is the same elements that are made up of the earth. It's the same element that is made inside of your own being. Okay, and everyone too, you look at your toes, will go deeply into yourself. Okay, you look at your toes, there's always lines. Okay, 1, 2, 3. If you look at inside, there's always 3 lines. There's always 3 lines. There's always 3 lines. These lines is not by accident. I told you that your hands, your feet, they depict your brain. Okay, they depict your brain in a way that you understanding them will allow you to heal yourself naturally. We'll go deeply into that. So when it comes to you grounding yourself onto the earth, as long as you are eliminating, okay, the level of energy here begins to grow. Okay, if it was small like this at first, because you used to wear shoe all the time, you wear shoe to this place, you wear shoe to that place, you will never take off the shoe. It is going to be reducing the amount of energy because you are not powerful enough to cause the energy to penetrate through the shoe. The shoe is the one thing that is causing a distraction or a separation between you and then the earth. Do you understand? That is why they keep bringing flashy ones for you. Flashy ones. You always want the latest. So you keep gobbling everything up. Okay? So they understand your consumer-based form as your mammalian brain or your brain that refuses to grow as a child. Okay? So it begins to amplify its energy centers. It begins to amplify. And the more the energy has, when it steps into the earth is able to send information directly to this place. Okay? Once the energy gets onto the feet, it transports it to the first form of the energy center, which is your ankles. And then your wrist. Okay, it begins to send the energy. When you just step on the earth like this, it picks up the information straight and then it travels straight to it, and then it sends it over to this shield, and then it sends it over to that shield. So every step you take, you take steps in power. Okay, every step that you take step in power. So these particular energies, when they get into the very feet of yourself, they'll begin to recharge this particular portal and then keep it open. Okay, they'll begin to charge this particular portal and keep your feet very warm. Okay, they will warm up your feet. If you are someone that is grounded in colder places like outside of Ghana, and you actually feel like, oh, this place is very cold, if I step on the earth, get a skipping rope. Okay, get a skipping rope. Get a skipping rope. There's no way you use a skipping rope for a particular place or particular time at a certain amount of skipping, then you will not feel hot. You will definitely feel hot. Use a skipping rope, skip your legs, okay? And when it comes to your palms, rub them together, okay? When it comes to your palms, I wanted to show you. Put your palms like this. This is one of my palms. This is one of my palms. Put them together and then you rub them like how they usually tell you that when you do that way, you create kinetic energy. No? Yeah, rub your palms together. Rub them together very hard. Okay? Once they begin to get very warm, then you begin to know that this part of your energy is beginning to open. It's like rebooting a computer or rebooting a machine. It goes, you see, it starts from a small form and then it generates itself all the way to the big form. Because when you are burning things, when you are destroying things, you are not destroying the bigger part of it. Okay, you start burning it from a cellular level. You start burning it from 1 feet and it begins to grow and then swell up every part of yourself. That is how it is. So once you begin to push the energy, the more grounding that you do and the less food that you eat and the more grounding that you put and attention you put to yourself, the higher the energy of this particular place. Okay.